We're told to marry for love. It sounds noble, modern and humane. Two hearts, one promise, happily ever after. But before we pledge our futures to a story, let's look with both eyes open. What is it we're really seeking when we stand before witnesses and say, yes? Is it love itself? Or the security we hope love will carry on its back? Is it a living presence? Or a contract we pray will keep presence from changing? The Headless Way doesn't tell you what to do with your life. It invites you to check what you are, where you are, and then let the seeing shape the doing. So today we'll look at love and marriage not as enemies, but as different kinds of things. One a living wind, the other a boat we may or may not build to travel together when the wind changes. And through the looking we'll practice 4 simple experiments: pointing, two-way seeing, label knower, and mirror. So whatever path you choose it from clarity, not from trance. Let's clear the room of romance and cynicism alike. Love isn't weak and marriage isn't wicked, but confusion hurts. Many of us step into marriage as if it were still the ocean we fell into. When the ocean moves as it will, we scramble to hold water in our hands and then accuse each other when our hands are wet and empty. We forget that love is a presence, not a promise, and marriage is a promise, not a presence. Mixing them without seeing the difference is like bottling the wind and calling the bottle sky. Before we speak of vows, let's verify where we're speaking from. Pointing. Extend a finger and point at something in the room. A ring, a chair, a window, a photo. You're pointing at an object coloured, shaped at a distance. Now turn the finger around and point directly back at the place you're looking from. What is actually here at 0 distance? A face? A shape? Any edge at all? Or open, edgeless, capacity-clear space that contains the ring, the chair, the window, the photo, the thought, the feeling, the whole scene? Don't adopt a philosophy. Check. Out there. Forms partners, paperwork, dinners, fights, births, funerals. Here, the formless host of this awake capacity that includes them all. When you move from this openness, relationships stop being rescue missions for your self-image. You don't secretly recruit another person to keep your labels quiet. Love is no longer a currency. It becomes what it always wanted to be. Presence meeting presence, freely. So what is marriage from this view? A boat? A shape inside openness? A shared agreement to carry food, shelter, money, parenting, illness, aging, real logistics, across uncertain weather. A boat can be beautiful or cramped, well-built or leaky, necessary in one season and optional in another. What ruins boats is pretending they are the ocean. What ruins oceans is pretending they should behave like boats. When we confuse the two, we try to chain a living wind to a timetable. We negotiate for feelings as if they were invoices. We demand, trade, punish, and call the coercion care. The tighter we grip, the less air remains. Then we say, look how love dies, when in truth it's our grasp that choked it. Let's get practical. Most of us carry a background sentence about love and marriage taught by family, culture, or fear. It speaks quietly, and it runs the show. Label knower. Let your sentence float up. If they loved me, they would never change. If we marry, this feeling will stay. If the feeling fades, someone failed. See the sentence as text appearing in awareness. Now, what is prior the sentence or the clear knowing that registers it? Rest as the knowing for 3 breaths. Another sentence may arrive. You're naive. You're too romantic. You're too cold. Those are sentences too. From the knower's stance, labels become weather, not law. You can still sign a contract and keep it. You're simply less likely to confuse the contract with oxygen. Two-way seeing. Keep the world in view, your partner's face, the light in the kitchen, the grocery list, and keep the openness here in view at the same time. Not switching back and forth, but including both in one attention. Forms there, capacity here. From two-way seeing, you can hold hands without holding hostage. You can discuss budgets, boundaries, holidays, and hopes without making the conversation a referendum on worth. You respond with precision instead of panic because you aren't defending an image while you speak. Now to the hard part we often avoid. Change. Bodies change. Needs change. Ideas about parenting, money, sex, spirituality, rest all change. Change is not betrayal, it's biology and weather and time. The question is not, how do we stop change? The question is, how do we build or revise a boat that can meet change without turning love into a courtroom? Some seasons sink beautifully, two trees leaning toward the same sun. Other seasons fork two trunks twisting in different directions, each following honest light. If we equate love with permanent alignment, we will either fake alignment or punish deviation. If we recognize love as presence, we can stay or part without war. This is where responsibility enters, not as a weapon, but as the price of grown-up promises. If you marry, especially with children, you enter a contract with real consequences. You don't get to vanish in the name of authenticity. You don't get to sleepwalk and let the other carry every heavy bag. You don't get to turn honesty into an alibi for cruelty. Presence includes repair. Let's bring the mirror into the room. Stand before a mirror. Notice the face over there, yours, with its history and hopes and fatigue. Without moving, check what's here at zero distance. Any face? Or the same open, faceless capacity receiving the mirror, the room, the thoughts about marriage? The face belongs there, on the surface. Here is the space. When you remember this while standing with your partner, you stop begging their eyes to finish your face. You let them be a person, not your reflection. That one shift dissolves half the fights before they begin. From here, let's separate three things that get tangled and cause decades of trouble. Love, a living presence, spontaneous and unowned. Commitment, a chosen shape inside the openness. An agreement about logistics, care, time. Control, an attempt to make either of the first two deliver permanent certainty. Love doesn't make commitment immoral. Commitment doesn't make love fake. But control makes both miserable. Control insists the wind must stay in this particular direction forever. Control turns "I will stay awake with you" into "you must stay the same for me." Control converts "let's build a boat" into "the boat proves the ocean loves me." Even our vows often hide control inside poetry. Forever can be a song about vigilance. I will never let the truth change. A saner vow sounds less cinematic and more alive. I vow to remain awake to truth yours, mine, ours, and to care for what we build together. If our forms must change, I vow to change with care. But what about couples who loved each other all their lives? Beautiful. And notice what they did. They kept offering love, not demanding it. They let love change its costume. Sometimes bright, sometimes quiet, without calling the quiet a crime. They rebuilt the boat when rot appeared. They didn't swear the planks were eternal. Their forever was practice, not possession. And if you cannot remain, then you leave like a grown-up, not with sabotage, not with vanishing, but with presence and stewardship. You care for what you've built. children, home, finances, friendships, even as you change the shape of the boat. Leaving is not a loophole for immaturity. It is sometimes the honest shape that protects the people inside the picture better than staying to maintain the picture. Let's make all this daily and small. Before a vow or a fight, do pointing. Out to the face you love, back to openness. Say what is true from there. During logistics, keep two-way seeing. Let capacity host budgets and chores. Accuracy is kindness. When fear shouts, do label knower. Name the sentence. They'll leave or disappear. This means failure. Rest as the knower for a breath, then speak a request, not a test. When identity tightens, do mirror. Face there, capacity here. Don't ask your partner to polish your self-image. You will forget. You will confuse presence with performance and hold your partner's nervous system hostage to your unexamined labels. Notice sooner. Repair sooner. Apologize without theatre and forgive without amnesia. The speed of repair is a better measure of love than the absence of conflict. What about marrying for reasons other than romance, children, culture, finance, safety? Honesty is the kindness here. If you're marrying for security, say so. If for parenting, say so. If for tradition, say so. Let the contract be a contract. Don't smuggle a demand for permanent feeling into an agreement about shared life. And if love happens to be present blessing upon blessing, treat it like weather. Welcome it with gratitude. Tend the conditions that nourish it, but do not sue the sky when clouds arrive. A common objection: isn't this cold? It might sound that way to ears trained to equate love with drama, but look closely. Drama uses love as a stage to perform insecurity and demand guarantees. Clarity uses love as a place to participate. Warmly, honestly, without hostage-taking. Clarity isn't the absence of feeling. It's feeling without the pretense that feeling can be legislated. Let's walk through a few classic traps and their headless antidotes. Trap 1. The vow as insurance. Label: if we're married, they can't leave. Antidote: label knower. Then rebuild the vow as a promise of presence, not a cage. I promise to stay awake and to care for what we build, even when it's hard. I won't use this promise to arrest your aliveness. Trap 2. The romance audit. Label: if I don't feel what I felt on day 30, I did it wrong. Antidote: two-way seeing, then update the map. Passion changes shape. Curious attention can be more intimate than fireworks. Trap 3. The mirror project. Label: I need you to make me feel like a good partner, parent, lover. Antidote: mirror, then stop outsourcing your face to theirs. Ask for what helps, but don't confuse help with duty. Trap 4. The noble disappearing act. Label: leaving without talking will hurt less. Antidote: pointing, then speak plainly, plan concretely, steward shared responsibilities. Leaving is not an excuse to ghost. Trap 5. The spiritual bypass. Label: as open capacity, I shouldn't need agreements. Antidote: two-way seeing, then sign the agreement you actually need. Capacity doesn't cancel logistics, it hosts them. Now what if you're not married and don't plan to be? The same seeing applies to any bond, friendship, creative partnership, caregiving. Love as presence, agreement as shape, control as suffering. The practices don't belong to one institution, they belong to life. Let's also speak to those who want to stay and feel stuck. Sometimes staying is brave and right. Sometimes staying is fear. The Headless tests won't tell you which, but they'll place you where honesty can be heard. Point out, point back. Name the sentence that's running the show. Keep the openness in view while you speak one unperformed truth. Listen for your partner's unperformed truth. Notice whether the boat wants repair or retirement. Both require courage. Neither is a failure if met with care. If children are involved, your commitment includes them always. The form of the adult bond may change. The duty of care does not. Presence shows up in school pickups, medical appointments, rent, bedtime, apologies. A headless life is not a loophole from the ordinary. It is the ordinary done without the extra weight of pretense. You may worry that this clarity will make you less romantic. I disagree. When you stop using romance to hold back the tide, romance returns as play sweet, surprising, unforced. You can be silly again. You can kiss without calculation. You can grieve the end of a season without needing to make the person wrong to justify your pain. You can say, I love you as a current report, not a legal argument. That makes I love you truer. If you want a tangible way to apply all this in the week ahead, try the following. It's short, repeatable, and useful, whether you're single, dating, partnered, or married. Card of the day, boat and ocean. 3 times today, in real moments, texting, cooking, commuting, do this. 1. Point out at a form related to your bond, a ring, a message thread, a photo, a packed lunch. Name it softly. 2. Point back and confirm the openness here. No edges, yet everything fits. 3. Name the leading label. Forever, failure, prove it, don't change, don't leave. 4. Rest as the knower for one slow breath. 5. Ask one precise question or make one clean offer that serves either the boat, agreement, or the ocean, presence. Then act on it, small on purpose. Repeat this sequence like hygiene. It won't turn your life into a poster. It will make your life more honest. Honest lives are lighter, even when heavy things happen. A final word on vows. If you marry, let your vow be alive. Something like, I will walk with you as far as truth allows. I will not use this bond to trap you or to abandon myself. If the path parts, I will part with care. I will keep caring for what we built, even if we no longer build together. That doesn't fit well on a napkin at the reception, but it fits well inside a human life. And if you do not marry, let your vow be alive too. I will keep love on the table freely. I will build the agreements I actually need. I will not call possession love or call avoidance freedom. In both cases, keep returning to the simplest discovery. Point back. Check the openness here. From this ground, you can say yes without trance and no without revenge. You can rebuild a boat without pretending it never leaks. You can throw a party for a long marriage or for a gentle ending without feeling like a fraud. You can love today as you are and stop demanding that love guarantee what love cannot. The world taught us to mistake the picture for the people in it. The headless way invites us to protect the people, even if the picture must change. That protection sometimes looks like staying, sometimes like leaving, always like presence. If you need one sentence to carry out the door, take this. Let love be presence and marriage be agreement. Refuse to trade either for control. Point out. Point back. Keep two-way seeing while you do the dishes, sign the paper, hold a hand, or let a hand go. Speak the truth that leaves the most room for life. Repair quickly. Celebrate kindly. And keep the boat and the ocean in their rightful places so both can do what they do best.